hospital, and there was people there all over sick. Tell me what you saw.
Yeah, they were. I went into the bathroom. There was a guy collapsed against the wall, pretty much like passed out. Some woman threw up. All they did was just sweep it up. They didn't even bleach it. Looked like a lot of people weren't sick, but I'm sure they will get sick there,
How many people did you see? Okay, how big is this hospital? What area of Mexico City?
It's in Bartolo. It's in Naucalpan de Juarez. It's in the state of Mexico, just outside of Mexico City.
So it's one of the mega
it's a public
suburbs.
hospital. And there was at least 100 people there.
Now, 100 people there for the baby or a broken leg, or 100 people there?
Oh, no, they all had masks on. I assumed like they went there because they felt sick. There were people coughing, sneezing, throwing up.
Yeah, this is a weird respiratory flu. Go ahead.
Right. And, a lot of people are panicking. I mean, everywhere you go, you see that, you can see that people are scared. Just hoping that it'll pass, that it'll die down.
Well, regardless, let's just say it's some really bad flu, and it is natural, and it just so happens to be swine, bird, and human, and happened to pop up. The way the media is hyping it and pushing it, they're using this for more control. And a lot of the people in Mexico, the emails I'm getting and the articles I'm seeing are bitching about the Mexican government fear-mongering. What would you say about what the Mexican news itself is saying?
Well, I know that when I came back from work today, I talked to one of my neighbors, and he was saying that he thinks that the government did it because they don't want the people to have another revolution, just to keep their minds busy, like how before they had the chupacabra. They just make things up, so that, to keep you in your house and to just keep you under control, like you said.
Exactly. In fact, they've been gauging that Mexico going into the summer is primed for revolution, areas of the government totally collapsing, as you know. 6,500 plus deaths last year online for 10,000 deaths in 2009 at current death rates 4 months into the year. Did you hear me earlier say that's one of the things we have to, in a Machiavellian way, look at, that any type of major crisis makes the government be the rallying point and centralizes their control, and that if I was a Mexican dictator under the control of the U.S. banks, the globalist banks, this is exactly the kind of crap I would pull if I was evil. And or are they just opportunistically using this? But I mean, your friends separately just said this.
Yeah, I mean, just out of the blue. I mean, it kind of surprised me. But I guess a lot of people feel like that, but it's under the surface, But a lot of people seem to be really brainwashed, too, from the TV and the radio. It's just 24 hours a day, just about the drug dealers and the this and that. They don't really give you any real information.
Why do you think there are so many deaths in Mexico versus not that many, well, no deaths, but there's only 12 confirmed cases right now, versus deaths here?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe just the lack of health, like people's health is really, bad to start out with. So,
you're saying in Mexico City, it's. But see, the news reports are it's wealthy people are dying, and there's a lot of healthy people in Mexico, especially the wealthy. I know there's a lot of poor folks who are on the edge of starvation or starving. Was it 35 million total metro, 28 million in Mexico City?
I think that's, about right. But I mean, the pollution and everything to start out with, and then, just the habits. Like, for example, I go to work and everybody shares their food. Like you have to put your food onto a table and everybody grabs it with tortillas and, you shake everybody's hand and you're just really close to everybody. You go into the subway, you pack in, like, sardines into the car, so there's no way to really escape.
Yeah, I've only been in Mexico City one time in a layover for like 4 hours, and literally I was outside and there was like black dust that the press reported was human detritus that was dried and blowing, and I literally couldn't breathe. And maybe that was a bad day. I mean, how often is it like that in Mexico City?
Pretty much every day. I mean, you wake up and I can look out and I can see across the valley, but then within a few hours you can't see maybe only, a few hundred feet. It's, it's that bad. I mean, you can feel it. When I go, back to the States, my lungs clean out, I cough everything up, and then I come back and then it's hard to breathe again.
Biggest city in the world. Biggest city in the world. Absolutely amazing. Anything else you want to add from Mexico City? We appreciate you calling. Any other key pieces of data? It says there's troops everywhere, video of that, but they're locking down different states to the north to block people fleeing. Is that being reported on Mexican TV?
Well, the troops have been here for a long time. I mean, it seems like they've been using them more and more from what I've seen, just, patrolling the streets. And so. Yeah.
I mean, specifically, What are they saying? Because the press is reporting they're locking down Mexico City.
I don't know. I mean, I went to work today and we went to the hospital. I wouldn't say that it's locked down. I mean, there's probably a lot of soldiers around, and I guess if it gets worse, it could go to that. But,
okay.
Definitely tense.
Yeah, we're trying to confirm the reports we've gotten in emails and calls that from Mexico that they're blocking the northern states. What are there, 4 northern states from the central and southern states?
Probably. I don't know. Just all I know is what's going on right here.
All right. Well, we're praying for everybody down there, but we've got our own problems. It just started spreading here, and it's in San Antonio. It's in suburbs of Austin. It's in Kansas. It's in Canada. It's in New York. So I hope this thing isn't as deadly. Last question. 68 deaths as of this morning. That's what I saw this morning early. And then it stayed at that number, 68 deaths in just like the last day. Now we've got Mexican doctors in the BBC reporting 200-plus deaths. What are you hearing on that front?
As far as I know, it's like about 60. But it's really hard to say because there's really not very good record keeping here, especially in the smaller towns. Or someone could just die and not even go to the hospital.
Okay,
so
thank you. Absolutely. Well, do me a favor. I'll be live tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will go directly to you and anybody else from Mexico City, anybody from San Antonio, anybody. We just had a caller who can see the lights of the sports stadium at the suburb of the town in San Antonio that they're shutting down the school. I've got the AP on that. So please call me tomorrow. I'll be giving the number out. We'll be live 4 to 6 p.m., okay?
All right. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to blitz through calls now. We have another call from Mexico. Okay, Wiley in Mexico. Go ahead. You're on the air, Wiley.
Hi. I think
Welcome.
a lot of this is overblown about this Mexico stuff. Hi. I think a lot of this about this Mexico stuff is overblown. I don't think it's as bad as what everybody's trying to make it out to be.
We hope you're right. Tell us.
We're in the Yucatan.
Okay, so you're down in the southeasterly area there by the Caribbean. So you're about 800 miles away then. I guess go ahead. Tell us what's happening.
No, we just got back from Mexico City. So it's not locking down in this area in any case. And
Okay.
people seem pretty healthy. The people in Mexico City, they're wearing masks, but everybody you talk to seems to be fine.
Good. That kind of contradicts the last report from the hospital, but you would see sick people in the hospital. Okay, how long ago were you in Mexico City?
Yesterday, the day before.
Okay, great. Tell us what you saw.
Yeah. Basically, there's a lot of, like everybody's saying, there's a lot of soldiers out. There's a lot of soldiers in Mexico anyway. So, maybe if they're all in one area more so than they usually are, which would probably be, in the downtown center.
Yeah, I'm her husband. There's soldiers all over Mexico. I mean, if you go down toward the Guatemalan-Mexican border, you'll see Blackwater gringos down there. So, I mean, it just depends on what part you're in. There's soldiers all over.
Sure, I know it's really tough down there by the Guatemalan border. I was just down there. So specifically, the reason we're talking about soldiers is they're saying it's a civil emergency. They're declaring emergency powers. So that's the issue that we're and either way you cut it, I agree with you. They are hyping this. We hope it's just hype and that there's nothing behind it. And this certainly is a way for the government to grandstand. And a lot of Mexicans are complaining that the Mexican media and the U.S. media are overhyping this. Why do you think that is happening?
I don't know why it's happening, but I agree with everyone else in that respect then, because it is being overhyped. We're not seeing anybody or meeting anybody, and we have other family there that's sick. It's just everybody's wearing separate precautions. The pharmacies are selling vitamin C and pushing vitamin C for also precaution, I guess, but people don't seem to be sick. As far as the soldiers go, most of them are friendly. It's the same thing that we see